Am I the asshole for making my sister leave after finding out what she was doing to my pregnant wife and kid? So my sister is now divorcing her husband and she's staying with me while everything is finalized. Without getting too deep, my sister did have a miscarriage a few months ago. I talked to my wife before this, and I told my sister that I could find her somewhere else to stay if my wife being pregnant is going to be too difficult to be around. She's been staying with me in the guest bedroom since then. My wife has lately been hyper-fixated on the baby's health. At first, I just thought that she was thinking about my sister and did my best to ease the concerns. When I came home, my wife was in the living room crying and she looked really stressed. She told me that she was fine and just stressed out. I didn't buy it. Eventually, she confessed what was really bugging her. My sister was pretty much trying to turn into a parent to our kid. Apparently, throughout this whole time, she was calling herself mom to our kid. When our kid would need a diaper change, she would do it and get mad if my wife did it. When it was breastfeeding time, she would get upset, cry, or get mad at my wife. Even asked her to formula feed so it's easier for everyone. She did more things, but you get what I'm saying. The reason my wife was so fixated on miscarriages was because my sister was apparently berating her with things about miscarriage. Example, why are you eating that? That kills your baby. She had yogurt. No, don't do that. Don't you know that causes a miscarriage? She accused my wife of wanting a miscarriage because she was doing everything wrong and everything that causes miscarriages. The last straw was that day when she tried to tell my wife to also breastfeed the baby, then insult her when she said no. I asked how I never heard this because while I do work late, she breastfeeds while I'm here. She said that she would do it when I'm not around, but then when I left, it would start back up again. I sat down with my sister and told her that I'd be happy to get her a rental, hotel, so forth, and I support her in this, but she can't stay here, and I can't in good conscience let this affect people who are also going through hard times. She started pleading with me, saying she would never do it again. I told her that I'll keep helping her with whatever she needs. I suggested intensive therapy or professional help, but she got mad at me. So I said she needs to leave. She was yelling at me, but at the end left to a hotel. But my whole family has my ass for this, saying I will never understand a miscarriage and that this is normal behavior, and she will never forgive me for being so mean. I'll pay to help her, emotional support, but my wife and kids didn't sign up for this. It is my fault to think that someone who went through that could be in front of that. But would I not be even more of an asshole if I let her stay? Oof. I know that miscarriage is a really touchy subject. This can't be normal miscarriage behavior. It has to affect people differently, though, right? I mean, it obviously triggered something inside of her, but I don't think that her responses to that trauma are normal in any way. It was a bad idea to have her, who's recently miscarried, in your house where your wife was pregnant and then gave birth and then you guys have a baby there. That's just a recipe for disaster, but I understand that you were trying to help. I hope, OP, that you had this conversation with your wife ahead of time and that she was on board with helping her out too. I'm assuming she was, because otherwise we'd be having a different conversation here. But I understand that you two were trying to help your sister, but you had to have seen that there was a big red flag with that trauma and then forcing her to kind of relive it. You are not the asshole for that. It was just a really bad idea. Sometimes helping is a bad idea because of the conditions that you have to help in. Sometimes your world doesn't allow you to help someone, and when you try to help, it actually just causes more harm. And that may be the case here, and it didn't come from a bad place at all, so you're not an asshole for it. You could not have predicted that your sister's trauma would lead to this. Your first responsibility is absolutely to protect your wife and child. So I wish that you wouldn't have gone through this at all, and I hope that your wife recovers from this because now she's been through something traumatic and she's going to be on high alert all the time. It's going to take some time to get through. And I'm hoping that none of this had any kind of negative effect on the baby, because that would just be, it's too much. It's too much. All of it. It's just too much. It's all terrible. There's no other word for it. It is just terrible. Now everyone's been through something terrible. And it seems like you played this in a pretty level-headed way as you were talking to your sister too. So bravo for that. I wish you didn't have to go through it in the first place, but you seemed to have handled it well. Your family will eventually understand, or they won't. But your responsibility is to your wife and child. You're still offering to help your sister, just not in your own home. And you're doing way more than anyone else is doing, apparently, for her. So maybe that's why your family is pissed off. Maybe they feel like they're going to have to help now. And if that's the case, then they're just being selfish and it's a self-preservation outlash where they're projecting that assholery onto you. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just give it some time and let it fade. I hope your sister does seek help because her issue is not one that's going to go away on its own. It's going to take a lot of time and it's going to take a structured journey to get to a place where she is okay. I don't imagine that someone who's been through a miscarriage is ever really okay. It's a scar, but she is going to have to get to a place where she isn't allowing that scar to affect other people in her life. And right now, that's just causing her to be further isolated, and that's a problem. If your problems are isolating you from the people who are most likely to help and from the people who want to help, you need to do something about it. This is a rough story. I hope that everything works out. Sometimes being the good guy isn't the right thing to do. It seems that every good guy is someone's bad guy, and maybe that's just the way it is. Shouldn't stop you from trying to do the right thing, but sometimes the right thing looks different than you expect it to.